JBN will keep you informed. I'm Michelle Jones. Before we get into the news, please remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and to share the news with someone today. Now onto the news. Clarendon woman charged for allegedly stabbing and injured man. The police in Clarendon have charged a woman accused of stabbing a man during an argument in Cotispen, Mapen on Friday. The accused has been identified as 36-year-old Vanessa Dixon, a caregiver from Cotispen. Reports from the Mapen police indicate that around 9:30 a.m., Dixon and the man got into a physical altercation. During the confrontation, she allegedly used a knife to stab him in the chest, leaving him injured. The victim was rushed to hospital, where he was admitted for treatment. Dixon later surrendered to the police and provided a caution statement before being formally charged. Authorities say a court date is now being arranged. Jamaican college student and best friend killed by alleged drunk driver in the U.S. A Jamaican family is now mourning the tragic loss of their son, who was killed alongside his best friend in a fiery car crash after an alleged drunk driver ran a red light and collided with the SUV in Houston, Texas on Saturday. The deceased are 22-year-old Jaden Flemings, whose family is originally from Barking Lodge in St. Thomas, and his frat brother, Ronnie Burns II. They both had recently graduated from Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University. Flemings' mother, Leona Williams, flew from Miami to Texas upon receiving the devastating news. "We had plans," she said. "I was supposed to bring home his stuff, and he would come down a week later before leaving for Germany." Flemings had recently been accepted to Kempton University of Applied Sciences in Germany and was eagerly preparing for the next chapter of his life. He was excited about going there and had been in contact with them, Williams added. The driver, 21-year-old Rene Hernandez, was reportedly fleeing from a Precinct 7 deputy constable after hitting at least one of the vehicle and running several red lights. He has been charged with 2 counts of murder, as the fatal crash occurred while he was allegedly committing a felony. Man allegedly found with ammunition in luggage at airport charge. The police have charged a Jamaican-American man who was allegedly caught with 38 rounds of ammunition in his luggage at the Norman Manley International Airport on Sunday. The accused, 47-year-old Marvin Gray, a basketball coach from Florida and Poorman's Cornelius, St. Thomas, has been charged with unauthorized possession of ammunition. His court date is being arranged. According to police reports, around 2:20 p.m., Gray was preparing to board a flight to Fort Lauderdale when his check bag was scanned. Security personnel reportedly detected an anomaly, prompting a search in his presence. During the search, officers allegedly discovered 2 magazines concealed in a compartment of the bag, an AR-15 magazine containing 38 5.56 rounds, and a 9mm magazine containing 7 rounds. Gray was arrested on the spot. 2 injured in St. James motor vehicle crash. A man and a woman were hospitalized following a motor vehicle accident on the Flanker Main Road in St. James on Monday evening. Reports indicate that the pair were traveling in a Toyota RAV4 when the vehicle suddenly swerved across the median and ended up in a ditch. Eyewitnesses say the SUV had been heading towards Montego Bay when it veered into the path of oncoming traffic before leaving the roadway. Emergency responders from the fire department and the police arrived on the scene and assisted both occupants, who sustained varying degrees of injury. Clarendon police seized ammunition concealed in ganja at Mapen Market. The police in Clarendon are ramping up surveillance of the Mapen Market after seizing ammunition concealed in ganja during an operation on Monday. According to the police, several men managed to escape with what is believed to be more contraband following a chase. Reports indicate that around 11:30 a.m., the Clarendon Beat Patrol team was conducting snap raids, vehicle and personal checkpoints, stop and search operations, and health and safety checks inside the market. While searching 2 men suspected of being involved in extortion, officers spotted about 8 of the men emerging from a nearby corner carrying large knapsacks and bags. Upon seeing the police, the men scattered in different directions. 3 of the men were chased, and one was seen throwing a black plastic bag onto the side of the road. Other suspects eventually escaped. The bag was recovered and searched, revealing loose ganja and small ganja parcels. While separating the ganja, officers discovered 15 rounds of ammunition hidden inside. Court reserves judgment in Chucky Brown appeal. The Court of Appeal has reserved its decision in the case of former police constable Collis Chucky Brown, who is challenging his conviction on 51-year prison sentence for multiple murders. Brown, alleged to be a member of the notorious Clarendon-based Death Squad, was convicted in 2018 of 3 counts of murder, conspiracy to commit murder, and wounding with intent. He was sentenced in January 2019 to life imprisonment, with eligibility for parole after serving a total of 51 years. Prosecutors said Brown fatally shot Demoy Dawkins, otherwise called Gotti, in 2009 and murdered Dwayne Douglas and Andrew Ferron in 2012. He also received additional sentences for conspiracy and wounding with intent, with a trial judge ordering that sentences for the two incidents run consecutively. On appeal, Brown's attorneys, Norman Godfrey and Patrick Peterkin, argued that the trial judge erred by refusing to order separate trials for each incident, rejecting a no-case submission, and admitting statements that were obtained under inducement when Brown, who was 41 at the time, was unrepresented. At trial, the court heard evidence that Brown admitted to Indicom investigators that he was recruited into the squad because he had the heart for it, and that the unit received weapons, vehicles, and the backing from the police high command to carry out extrajudicial killings. Justice Vivian Harris, who presided over the trial, described the murders as acts of extreme moral turpitude that severely damaged public trust in the police, adding that high crime rates could not justify unlawful killings. Brown's attorneys argued that the charges involved separate incidents with no clear factual connection and should not have been tried together. The allegation of murder by itself is not sufficient to establish nexus, they submitted. They also challenged the admissibility of Brown's statements, saying they were made involuntarily while he was unrepresented. Regarding the no-case submission, the lawyers pointed to weak eyewitness testimony and inconsistencies between the evidence and the pathologist's report, which showed the victims were shot from the front, contrary to the Crown's theory. They also argued that the sentences imposed were unusually harsh and wrongly structured. An additional $2.1 billion allocated to repair schools damaged by Hurricane Beryl. The government has allocated an additional $2.1 billion to repair another 266 schools damaged by Hurricane Beryl in July 2024. An assessment of all institutions determined that 364 schools were impacted. Some 111 schools were severely damaged with the hurricane's passage, for which $2.5 billion was spent to carry out repairs. Schools that sustained moderate and minor damage were classified as Priority 2 and 3. Addressing the Regional Leaders Conference on Monday, Minister of Education, Skills, Youth and Information, Senator Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon, disclosed that schools in Priority Groups 2 and 3 will be the focus of this round of repairs.
So if you're a part of a school that was damaged by Beryl, you're on Tier 2 or Tier 3 list, we got the money. And so we're going to be able to repair those schools. And so that's a lot of schools, because that's going to be 306 schools that will be repaired as a part of this program. And we also have 47 whose scope of works expanded from the Hurricane Beryl initial allocation. And so those 47 plus the 306 that were in Tier 2 and 3 will all be repaired.
Meanwhile, Permanent Secretary Dr. Kassan Choub shared that as the Education Ministry awaited a second allocation, repairs were conducted at some Priority 1 and 2 schools from the $628 million maintenance budget. Dr. Choub said maintenance activities will take place at 202 schools. Some $100 million has been set aside for termite treatment. Body of elderly man found following house fire in Dallas Castle. The body of an 89-year-old man was found among rubble following a fire to his home in Dallas Castle, Papine, St. Andrew on Monday night. He has been identified as Ollie Abraham, a farmer. According to police reports, about 11:40 p.m., a fire gutted Abraham's house. His body was discovered during cooling down operations. The scene was examined and the body was removed. A post-mortem is to be conducted. JBNN will keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.